Hey guys, thought it might be fun to look back at a couple trades last year, and how they turned out, how the picks turned out into this year's. See how they stacked up and how the teams did. So I just did March 13th, the final trade deadline day, because there was a lot of deals, as everyone remembers. But just to get my feet wet, let me know if you want a part two and subscribe, hit that like button, you know. So let's pop over to even. Let's start out here. Adrian got Logan Thompson and a fifth round pick for Howden and a fourth to Riley. So you'll see on my sheet here, we have the GM on the left side and his picks. So he got Logan Thompson in year 10, and then his year 11 pick turned into Morgan Riley because it was a fifth pick. And then I went back through the draft board and saw where that fifth landed. And Riley, he got Howden. So obviously this was just like for a pick upgrade, I think, because Riley was tanking, Adrian was going for playoffs. So this year it panned out with Sean Dursey for Morgan Riley. So and Adrian actually has Logan Thompson as a keeper, so this was probably big for Adrian, more so than Riley. But Riley, relative to the value he got, probably had a few more players that he wanted considered in the randomizer. I think this was probably good for, really in his head, he's just got Sean Dursey for Morgan Riley, which he'll take, of course. So not maybe, of course, Morgan Riley's not bad, but he had the opportunity to take either of these guys. He picked Sean Dursey, so presumably he got a better D man out of the trade for it. So was it worth it for Logan Thompson for a rental for a playoff run for Adrian? Maybe compared to the trade market, it's hard to say, but that's like a quick analysis there. Not too shabby of a first deal that I looked into here. This next pick is involving Dan, and all the other picks on the day were involving Dan. So Dan took on two. He was actually in the playoff spot. Riley was out of playoffs, so you'd assume Dan maybe was going for it, but I think he was a low seed. He knew he wasn't going for it, so he took two IR guys, and he gave up Bedard and Fox for Josie and Jack Hughes. He kept Jack Hughes. Riley got to keep Bedard and Fox. So out of this, like 2 for 1 for keepers. Obviously, there's other factors like Dan had to try and keep Joey Decord, lol. But like this turned out probably better for Riley. Sometimes it's luck; it's not even a GM decision that's making it one way or another. But then Riley got Cooley, Stuart Skinner for Blackwood and Carlson. So he actually started out until he traded Fox a couple days ago. He started out with these four for these three. And yeah, it's how you want to kind of break this down. Like, I think Fox is better than Carlson, and Hughes and Bedard, probably Bedard, and Blackwood maybe beats Skinner, but Cooley, well, it definitely beats Skinner, but Cooley. So maybe this was like a big win for Riley coming into this year, and for two teams that were selling. So presumably, like year 11 is where they wanted to be better. Riley definitely is a better team this year than Dan, but some of that's maybe to luck. If he even kept Yossi, would it be closer? Obviously, it'd be closer, but that's how that pick or how that trade broke down there. Now, Adrian acquired Swayman, Johnson, and Donato for his playoff run. Dan took two players that I don't think probably got him any points, so he really got nothing for his playoff run, which wasn't a run that he was going on. So really, it's just like, are these two worth these three? And Wolf better than Swayman, um, Eric Carlson, Donato, Johnson. This is a like pretty like respectable deal here. If you don't factor in that Adrian still got Demko and Pionk out of it for this year. So obviously an upgrade. So Dan did the better of the selling here. Adrian did better of going in last year, but not a bad return for Adrian there. Next up, Adrian or Alex and Dan. Alex got Nugent Hopkins and Granlund for a playoff run. Granlund finished around 70, Nugent around 130 ish when I looked at earlier. And these were just like kind of like eaters of roster space. Hayden didn't do too bad, and Talbot maybe got a couple points, but Dan was tanking. Alex was going in. So for that playoff run, was it worth it for Donato and Barkov IR? Because Dan should be going in maybe this year, but Barkov IR means that he's actually going in year 12 because this was like for that. So it's more he got Donato this year for two decent guys who were producing at the time that would have been good for a playoff run there. So worth it. Who knows? Riley got, or sorry, Alex got some back end talent right there. So you be the judge of that one. Final trade for this analysis here. Jamie got John Carlson for the playoffs. Passed off to Foley, which probably had some mid value. So if we cross reference this is easy because it's kind of one for one on the trade. So John Carlson for a playoff run for Anze Kopitar for a season, in return for Faber for a season, for Toffoli for a playoff tank. You be the judge there. They also traded a 16th for a 15th, which is technically no one, and I'll show you why. Because on Jamie, basically, this is actually a good reminder for the last three picks that you own, whether you trade your 17, 16, 15, 14, and you only have 13 round picks. If you have three picks in that round, they're all going to be used for your keepers. So Jamie just shifted his keeper from being in round 15 to the keeper slots being in 16 and 17. So there's a three there. Those are his keeper slots. So he just technically didn't have a keeper in round 15. And then Dan got an extra keeper in round 15. So technically no one. This was just ceremonial. So, or maybe just optics for the league. I don't know. So that's how that deal went there. If you thought these were cool, want me to do another deep dive sometime, maybe I can. But just wanted to give like kind of the league like a little bit of a visual of like how these draft pick trades are turning out. And there's probably Dan being the mainly only use case here. It'd probably be better to look at other teams and see who was getting value for playoffs, who was selling correctly, buying correctly. There's some intricacies with all of it, so it's not very cut and dry. That's why I don't have a hard opinion about anything that happened. But yeah, that's kind of my breakdown there. So see you guys later.